that she
OK, Charlie,
needs,
we're going to have to
they
interrupt you
can
there.
change the
Liz
rules.
Truss
We haven't
is
seen
about
it.
to speak to the media. We'll cross to her live.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
Well, that was Liz Truss, the UK Prime Minister, announcing that she will be stepping down. She said, I cannot deliver the mandate that she promised as leader, that she has spoken to King Charles III to notify him that she is resigning and that she has agreed there will be a leadership election within the next week so that the country can remain on a path of economic stability. Charlie, we're going to bring you back in now. You're in Westminster. Charlie, Angela, I guess it was inevitable that she was basically had no other option but to step down today.
Well, we knew that the next 24 hours were going to be critical. We knew things were going to move fast. I don't think that many people anticipated it would move quite this fast. Liz Truss, Prime Minister of the UK, has just resigned. She has only been in the job for 6 weeks. And in that time, she's seen the pound plummet. She's had to roll back on most of her policy programmes. She's had to sack her Finance Minister, Kwasi Kwarteng, and yesterday see her Home Secretary, Interior Minister, Suella Braverman, resign. Now, the 1922 committee has now decided that she has not got the mandate of her party. She is not capable of leading this government, and so they will be looking for another leader. The question now is who? There is not enough consensus within the Conservative Party to pick another leader. They're going to have to pull together very quickly to heal those divisions and to come to some consensus, not only for the sake of the party, but for the sake of the country. This is a country that has seen its economy in turmoil in the last weeks because of government actions. A resigning Prime Minister is only going to spook the markets, and what's needed right now is stability.
She said that they have agreed that there will be a leadership election in the next week. Would that be similar, do you think, to the one that we saw Liz Truss use to be elected? And I guess that's a very condensed time frame to find a new Prime Minister.
So it's very, very early days, early minutes, but as we understand it, we would not be seeing the same kind of leadership contest as we saw over the summer. That was a very long, lengthy, drawn-out process in which all Conservative members of the Conservative Party were able to cast their vote on who they wanted to see lead. Now, I think what will happen, and we'll be able to bring you more in the next few hours, is that decision-making process will be condensed. A couple of candidates will be put forward and one will be chosen. And that's not just for the sake of the party, like I said, but also for the sake of the country. This country cannot waste any more time on the political infighting that is going on in the Conservative Party. There are bigger jobs to be done. We have now had the third Interior Ministry in 7 weeks. It's just Interior Minister in 7 weeks. Someone needs to be getting on with the job of dealing with the national security of this country, dealing with the economy of this country, and this musical chairs that the Conservative Party have been playing with the different cabinet seats cannot go on. So stability is needed, and I think a Conservative Party leadership contest will be condensed, absolutely.
Who do you think the front runner could be? Will it be Rishi Sunak, who obviously challenged her for the leadership and lost out last time?
Again, only time will tell. Some of the names that are on people's lips at the moment are Penny Mordaunt, who was also knocked out quite early in that leadership contest. Some people today in the Parliament itself have accused Suella Braverman, the outgoing Home Secretary, of actually orchestrating her own exit just so she could throw her hat back in the ring for leadership once again. Now, one of the reasons that she clashed so much with Liz Truss was on immigration. She wants to tighten immigration. Truss wanted to relax it, so that will be a major consideration for the rest of the party. Another name on people's lips is, as you said, Rishi Sunak. He could have the benefit of perhaps predicting the economic mess that the UK is now in. That was one of his platforms, saying that if Truss was to become leader and put her policies forward along with her then Finance Minister Kwasi Kwarteng, that the British economy would suffer, which it has. So he might be seen as more of a safe pair of hands on that front. So those are just three names at the moment. Nadine Dorries, a Conservative MP, today in Parliament has been calling for the return of Boris Johnson. I think we would be in a very desperate situation if we were to see a Johnson come back. I don't think he's actually even in the country at the moment. But yes, four names, again, as I said, just shows the indecision within the Conservative Party that not one name is coming to the top.
There's been calls from members of the public that there should be a general election. I mean, would appear that with Liz Truss stepping down and a leadership election within the Conservative Party to take place in the next week, that's unlikely to happen. Is there any chance that that might happen?
Well, they seem to have just wandered off from behind me, but there were a number of protesters just earlier here calling for just that, a general election. Whether or not one would be triggered, I mean, not now if the Conservative Party is going to choose another leader. What they're really trying to get to is October the 31st. Now, that is the date when they're planning on printing and publishing their mid-term fiscal strategy. That's the economic strategy that then Finance Minister Kwasi Kwarteng hinted at when he first unleashed his mini budget. Now, that is something that they've been trying to get to. They hoped that Liz Truss would stay as leader until that date, but it looks like that's now not going to happen. I think the chances of a general election, we can never rule them out.